Okay, look like it didn't count down like it's supposed to. Welcome back. We're here live on Everything Black. I got my girl Regina tonight. She's gonna come in and break it down for us, and got a couple of videos to watch. And I'm glad y'all here. I hope everybody's doing well. So we're gonna just jump right into it. We got a video here talking about why the Democrats lost the election. They trying to say they blaming it on everybody but us. But I want to say, and I'm finna prove tonight that we are the reasons why the Democrats lost the elections. And I'm bringing in receipts. So here we go. Let me get this video up to share so y'all can see it. And then we're going to let Regina go in here in a minute. I want to make sure I'm on the right video. All right. We're going to go right into it.
And thank goodness we ain't going to see on Andrea Mitchell, because Andrea Mitchell tired and done with her show.
This is Roland Martin.
Because
he's said that he hadn't got his money for the election
because he hasn't gotten what he wants.
And that they won't be in
Roland
power.
sees this is his opportunity to go ahead and take them to task because they haven't come and bent the knee and kissed the ring on his program. Remember, he did this in 2020 with Kamala Harris. Remember, he was flogging her to task because she didn't come to speak to him. Remember, he did this in 2020. He always does this when they don't come and speak to him after the election is over. So he's just rinsing, repeating what he's done before. This is actually not new, although he has stepped this up to a whole new level of aggression.
And this is also the Jason Brown,
gotten a lot more
Jason
aggressive
Black show,
with this one right here.
Not show, but broadcast.
He's making his
Black
attempt at some basis
Authority
voice,
channel.
going about his
And I want all y'all to start checking it out on
That's
Saturday.
what Roland's throwing out there now. So he's naming everybody.
Around 7
Obama.
o'clock.
He didn't name Jamie Harrison, but he did say the chairman of the DNC. So Jamie Harrison,
Fair
Obama,
use, YouTube,
Chuck
and
Schumer,
Facebook.
Nancy Pelosi. Oh, Roland is throwing them ham hock arms. He's windmilling them ham hock arms around everybody.
No, he didn't.
I'm saying this because you cannot put new wine in old wineskins. You cannot have these folks who are still trying to use a playbook that's 20, 25 years old when literally what is facing us is totally different.
That's true.
It simply cannot happen. And also the moment where the Congressional Black Caucus has to truly power.
Now, listen to this part here because he gives you all a statistic about them. Listen to what he says about the Congressional Black Caucus.
The moment where the Congressional Black Caucus has to truly wield its power and put some of your fellow Democrats' asses in line. You are the largest caucus in the Democratic Party. What?
Listen at that.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
The Black Caucus is the largest group. Yeah,
So
we don't
first
have
he
no
tells
power.
you that they need to be putting some line, and then tells you, by the way, you're the largest caucus in the Democrat Party.
Black.
The largest caucus in the Democratic Party that does absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They might as well not exist. They exist in name only. They might as well not be there. yet they are the largest caucus, and yet they do absolutely nothing. Now, that is a damning commentary to give. Absolutely damning.
Congressional Black Caucus has to truly wield its power and put some of your fellow Democrats' asses in line. You are the largest caucus in the Democratic Party. You should be setting the agenda. You should be leading the fight.
No, that's a fact.
And then we start talking about all of these different groups, CBC PAC and all these other PACs and groups.
Back to the money.
What the hell are y'all going to be funding?
Back to the money again. Where you want them to spend that money at, Roland? Y'all, do you see how in just a couple of minutes he's brought it full circle? Now it's back to the money. And about these PACs, we be spending all this money right here. What y'all doing? The only answer that he would approve of is if you give the money to him. But oh yeah, by the way, this microphone of the New Black Media, as the anchorman of the New Black Media, y'all know I've been on the Congressional Black Caucus's ass since my very first day. It is so obvious that they should have been the central target. But you see, I'm not owned by a political party, nor am I jockeying for their favor, their money, or anything else from them except to bend the knee. Roland Martin, however, is looking for a job and some money flicked off the table. So things that we have all had the luxury of being able to say from day one, he's been too cowardly and too weak and powerless to say anything because he's looking to get bought off. And it didn't happen because it can't. So now that he's accepting that that's not going to happen, now his arms and windmilling at people and telling the Congressional Black Caucus he's 20 years late to the damn party. We've been doing this now going on 2 decades, 20 years late to the party. And now, after a disastrous presidential election, now he wants to call out the Congressional Black Caucus at late long last. He's finally willing to do what we've been doing since day one, which is why I told you all, every time all of a sudden he starts talking like the New Black Media. All of a sudden, he starts talking like a very weaker version of Jason Black. Well,
he's a weaker version.
There's 250,000 votes. That's the difference between being president and going back to California.
Now that you've heard from everyone else,
now check this out. I'm going to break it down.
Analysis of the actual numbers from the New Black Media. Now, you've seen a bunch of folks handing around charts that pretty much look like this, showing about, Kamala Harris versus Trump. You're seeing things like that. You've had some not very well-informed people who I guess, having visual aids and pictures helps them to be able to understand events better. It helps them to understand events, but it doesn't help them to understand numbers. Works. They don't know what electors are. They don't know what the Electoral College is, so they don't actually understand how voting works in America.
Yeah, I've
so they see this graphic, and then you see a bunch of people talking about Latino males, and Latino males, the majority voted for it. It was Latinos, and just like I say, all I can say is top of the line stupid. Roland was scratching at the surface of what the event was there because he understood I'm going to come up and have all the numbers available for you. So if you will all direct your attention to the screen, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. I put this together for you so that you all can understand exactly what occurred and that it is the black vote that Kamala Harris lost. If you take a look at the state of Georgia in 2020, Trump lost Georgia by 12,000 votes. Biden won by 12,000 votes. That means Trump lost Georgia by 12,000 votes in 2020, just 4 years ago. 4 years later, you have a black voter base that basically should run the yard, and yet Trump wins this year. by 116,000 votes.
Mm-hmm.
Now
4
watch this.
years
Watch
later, Trump lost by 12,000. This year, he wins by over 116,000, or should I say, Kamala Harris lost the state of Georgia by 116,000 votes.
Mm-hmm.
Not 116 million people.
Now watch this.
116,000. 116,000. Somebody in the chat room, the slow bus children. You got to understand, the slow bus children talking about how to explain the black vote. They're desperate to try to figure out, can somebody else make up that shortfall there? It can't be us. It can't. They're desperate to try to make it seem like that. Jason, how do you know that that is what occurred here? Feast your eyes. That's Georgia. WJCL. Low turnout of black voters during early voting in Georgia. They were recognizing there was a problem early on. What do you got to do with the black vote? This, if you can be bothered to actually investigate and learn, never mind, you can't. That's what I'm here for. So just don't ask questions. Just sit back and listen. All will be explained. But by the way, the very first thing they were saying was that the black voter turnout in Georgia was already low. They were already saying that. Early voting was underway in Georgia. The state has surpassed 2 million ballots. According to the Georgia Secretary of State's office, only 26% of registered voters who identify as black made their way to the polls. Only a quarter, only 26% of registered voters who identify as black had made their way to the polls.
Mm-hmm.
See, they
Only a
know
quarter
because he
of-
registered. See, they know how many.
In the 2020
people
election,
supposed to vote.
over 700,000 voters were black.
700,000 voters black in Georgia. 700,000.
For the guy who was asking, what I got to do with the black vote right there? Okay, here it is in black and white for you, kid. Pay attention. I'm going slow so you can keep up. 2020, over 700,000 of those voters were black, according to the Secretary of State's office. 4 short years later, you can barely get a quarter of them to show up for early voting.
Mm-hmm.
The final turnout is ultimately going to bear that out. You only needed 116,000.
Of 700,000.
That's the point. You only needed 116,000. Over 700,000 showed up 4 years ago.
Right.
And that's not even counting everybody who's eligible and registered. That's not counting all of them who are eligible and registered. You had more than enough to cover that 116,000 people. If math's not your strong suit, sir, the bottom line is, in case you need some help, you have more than enough eligible black voters to cover that 116,000. Barack Obama would have had no problem getting that number. Barack Obama would have had no problem getting 100,000 black folk to show up 200,000. 250,000 black folk in Atlanta. Barack Hussein Obama would have had zero trouble in 2008 and 2012 getting 250,000 to show up. This never would have happened under him. That's the point. The situation has changed. It's changed dramatically. Folks didn't show up for one person, or they either defected to Trump or didn't show up for her. Because what this doesn't show you is the lack of numbers here, because actually in reality she got fewer. You all can go look that up if you want to there. I don't want to get too deep off the woods because I want to keep this very, very simple so that you can see these swing states, these so-called swing states that Kamala Harris needed. Trump took them all this time. Kamala Harris didn't get a single one. The so-called blue wall, the so-called swing states in the blue wall, Trump knocked the blue wall down. He took them all. Michigan, you know about Detroit? In 2020, Trump lost by 154,000 votes. Damn! In 2020, he lost by 154,000 votes. 2024, Kamala Harris loses by 80,000 votes. That's your black vote right there. I'm sitting here showing it to you. That's your black vote right there. It's not that there were more people voting this time. That was your black vote right there. There it is. Joe Biden had it 4 years ago. It got cut in half this time. That was your black vote right there. What's that got to do with the black vote? It's got that to do with the black vote. That's what it's got to do with the black vote. Trump. Want some more? I'll give you some more. North Carolina, Trump sweeps it. 189,000 votes. Roland goes on in his piece to talk about a county in eastern North Carolina. He said the Democrats didn't even show up in eastern North Carolina. You had a black county there that Trump won. A majority black county that Trump won. That's North Carolina. He won it in 2020, and he wins it big in 2024. Even the majority black county. 189,000 votes, not 189 million. Get that through your cinder block skull, dude. 189,000 votes. That's not your Latinos. You have more than enough registered black voters or available eligible black voters to sweep that 189,000 votes. And Barack Obama in his prime would have been able to mobilize that.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, in 2008 and 2012, Barack Obama easily would have mobilized that 189,000 votes. That's not Latinos. Trying to figure out some way to make this Latino cause or anything but black vote. We didn't do that. Yeah, we did. Read them and weep. Pennsylvania. Now, for my people who are with me live, who were in the room with me Tuesday night, they know that I named those 3 states in particular. I named North Carolina, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. And I said, especially if she doesn't get Pennsylvania, the night's going to be over quickly. And it was. Pennsylvania, you can see the numbers there. Trump lost Pennsylvania by 80,000 votes 4 years ago. 4 short years later, he sweeps it by 145,000 votes. Mm-hmm. There's your black vote gone right there. What you got to do with the black vote? That's what it's got to do with it. Right there. Not 80 million, not 145 million, not 1.4 million votes, 145,000. That's your black vote right there.
Well, yeah, it could be the black vote, but they got to give us the credit for it.
Didn't show up this time. Biden had it 4 years ago. Now, you can't argue with the facts. This is history. It's already happened. You can't fantasize it away. He had it 4 years ago. What the hell happened this time? You didn't have some ballooning of white voters.
Right.
Your black vote said we cool. You've heard a bunch of yelling and screaming and hand-wringing from everybody from every demographic. Did you all notice the one demographic you ain't seen show up? Black men. Damn. You notice you don't see black men crying and boo-hooing and singing the blues. We sitting back chilling. Everybody else is complaining about us. We sitting back taking it easy.
So there it is right there.
Yeah, I mean, but see, y'all seeing it.
What swing states?
And everybody seeing it. But I already saw it when it came to Pennsylvania. When it came to Philadelphia, right. Philadelphia have historically voted like crazy numbers in favor of Democrats. Like it would be the Republicans only get like 17%. I mean, when I say crazy numbers. And they didn't get it. Now, don't get me wrong. They did not take Philadelphia, but they lost. Right. They didn't lose with the 17%. They was more like 30-something%. and that's a big swing. That's like something like 18
Right.
points or something like that. They took from the other voters and from the Democrats. So it's a big
Right.
thing that went on. But when it comes to it, I can see what he's saying as far as the black voters, but I'm trying to figure out um how will we use that as a leverage if they don't recognize it. It's only certain
Well,
things you can do when you don't when they don't recognize it,
what?
and they're not gonna admit to it either.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the deal. It's already in ink. Like he said before, when it first got started, they even saw it on the low turnout that black people
Mhm.
wasn't coming in and voting. They
Mhm.
usually be 80%, but they were 25
Mhm.
or 26% that came
Mhm.
in. And so they already knew they was low right there. That they usually be around 80 something. And
Okay,
then the
so
other 10
let
come
me
in.
ask this question. It's saying, don't get me wrong, but
Go ahead.
you just don't think it had anything to do with just it being a woman?
No.
You don't
Uh-uh.
think so? Not
Black,
from what
listen,
I heard.
no,
I mean, some of the
no,
people that I done
no.
heard,
Look,
some of the men,
come on now.
they couldn't fix their mind to why this election. I'm not trying to be funny because they're gonna be thinking about this.
Right,
I'm just giving out some things that people will say. Why this election
right,
did everybody black decide? Okay, this is the election we gonna try. Especially when we got the biggest idiot on earth. Right. I mean,
right,
we just gonna take this election to do this one with. Why this
right.
election? Is it have to do
And I'm gonna
with trying to
explain
get
it.
an agenda going, or is it because it was
Right.
more of a woman?
I'm trying to explain it. Let me
Okay.
explain it. Okay. Kamala, if you go look at her history with men, okay, and how she put hoochie mamas out there to perform, right? She can't answer any questions straight up and legitimate. Now, if it was
But she
Barack
answered.
Obama,
I
wife,
mean, okay, but
if it
see,
was
but
Michelle,
this is what
hold on,
I
hold on.
want to
Let
know.
me
Okay. Okay.
let me break it to you. If it was Michelle
Mhm.
and Michelle were answering questions the way people were asking, okay, why you do this, why that, and then she break it down and explain it, we can handle that. We would vote for her. Black people, Democrats would have won if they would have put Michelle there.
She don't want to
Just
be in
off,
it.
you don't have a history of fucking over people and stuff like that,
She don't want to
right?
do it no way. She done had her
Kamala
fill
have
of
a
politics.
right. Kamala had her had opportunity to do right toward black people. But if you look at her history, she has she has not done anything right for black people. Nothing.
I
And
mean,
black
like
people
what?
know that.
Like what though?
When she put all those black women in jail for weed, for
Okay, so let's
child
say okay,
truancy.
I'm not trying to be funny,
Go
but
ahead.
okay, so if
Go
you
ahead.
have a job and your job says this is the rules at the time,
Right.
she didn't put everybody in jail. She was the attorney general for the state, just like Ken Paxton is the attorney general for Texas.
Right.
Their
Right.
job is to oversee to make sure that people are doing certain laws. Most of attorney general jobs have to do with mostly business things than it is anything else. Don't have anything to do
Right.
with
I'm
with
glad you said that
prosecuting
too.
criminal things too. So if the if it was a problem with people having weed charges or different things like that, that was a legislative problem. And there was a law problem as far as
Hold
different
on.
things.
Hold on.
Seriously, I mean, because they made a law, she got to
Yeah. Look,
enforce it. That's her job.
you definitely right. You definitely right. But the problem is when she put somebody in jail, she wouldn't even let them out.
I
They
mean,
had to
but
file a court order to let the people out of jail.
okay,
This was
so
the
how
men
does
that
she
she
have to? I
arrested.
mean, seriously, I mean, just tell me. I'm just being honest because
Right.
Kim Paxton don't have nothing to do with how long somebody in jail and whether they get parole or not. Don't have anything to do with
Right.
that.
But she wouldn't let them out. That's what
How
I'm
was she
saying.
not? I mean, how was she not?
Okay.
I
Do
know
you
this
want
is things that people
right?
have said, but I have never
No.
heard the information because
Oh, you want
Because
want
I'm
to
trying to
see it,
figure out
right?
how is it that she making people stay in jail. Well, that's not usually what a attorney general job is, to make
Right,
somebody
but
stay in jail.
that's what I'm saying. And not only that, she hid evidence. She had a woman that was hiding evidence and putting evidence on people to make them stay in jail. They had to file
Huh?
lawsuits on these people to get out of to sue the girl that was planting evidence, the lady that's supposed to be keeping the evidence for everybody. She was,
Okay, so
instead
is
of
that
for
her job
DNA
though?
test.
I'm not being
Huh?
funny, but is that her job? I'm not
Who job?
I'm not a Kamala Harris to be having somebody
Yeah,
over some
yeah,
evidence.
Kamala
No,
Harris. Yeah,
I
Kamala
don't think
Harris.
so,
Hold
because
on.
it
Kamala,
might be
listen.
different. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it might be different in California, but that's not the job here in Texas as far as the Attorney General role. And if they hold the same office,
Yeah,
and every state is a little different.
right.
That's
This
not
guy
the
that's
job that they have.
hold on. Who did you say was the attorney general here?
Ken Paxton.
Okay. If police are putting evidence in the evidence room, and then
Mhm.
you got a girl that's doing DNA tests, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And she's mixing up stuff to make sure that the criminal go to jail,
Mhm.
and you don't even have sufficient evidence.
Mhm.
Whoever the state attorney is or the district attorney, they
It's
in
the
charge of
district
all
attorney.
that.
That's the district attorney. That has to do with county by county.
Right, but I'm saying Kamala Harris was also involved with helping the woman do it. You do what I'm saying?
Oh,
Do you want? You know what? We can do a show on that. We'll do a show
okay,
on
okay.
Kamala Harris
Because see,
crooked
because
ways.
that's why I say that I heard things,
You
but it's
heard it,
not.
but you ain't saw it, right?
I ain't saw it, and I don't see how that would go for somebody having a certain role. That's just like seeing Donald Trump is over here keeping Pookie down here in Lou Sterrett for a lot longer, and he don't even know Pookie exists. You see what I'm saying? That's not even his
Yep,
job,
that's
because
what
that's
I'm saying.
overstepping
People were
them
saying,
federal
yeah,
jobs. That's a
that's
state
right.
job, and the things by keeping people in check, and then having evidence on somebody. That's a
Listen,
county
this
role.
right. Kamala Harris, everybody in California know her record. They were saying, and there's videos on this, that this woman was keeping the men in jail and making them do. They were supposed to be helping the fire department do something about a forest fire, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And they didn't have enough help. The fire department didn't have enough help. Instead of them hiring more people, she took the criminals and made them stay out there. Dudes who don't have experience with fires.
Okay, but you know what? And I'm not trying to be funny. You can thank the state. You can thank the Constitution in the 13th Amendment for that, because slavery and making somebody do something against their will is unconstitutional, except for in when you in prison or something like that. So they
Right,
use that
right. But you can only
to
do
their
it
advantage.
right. You can only do it for the time they are there, for the crime they committed. You can't keep them
Hmm.
past the time they've been sentenced. Like if somebody have a sentence of 10 years, you can't make them stay 20.
No, you can't make them stay 20. But
This
have
that's
what?
right. That's
Where
what
is
she
that?
was
Where is
doing.
that at?
That's what she was doing.
You
They
you
had
gonna
to
have to
have a
show me that one.
I am the Supreme Court
Because if
had to
that's the
make
case,
this
if
lady.
if that's the case, then this is it. I think it's some sorry black folks that would allow that kind of mess go on in California. You know your loved one's supposed to be out a whole 10 years ago, and you just
What you
allow it.
yeah,
You
that's
ain't
what
going, you
you
ain't going,
listen.
you ain't going to that's what the Congress is for. That's not
I,
you. You don't allow that kind of foolishness to go on and
this is what I'm
nobody do
saying. They
nothing
was
about it.
they was protesting in California. They were acting a fool when they
Oh, I didn't
found
see
this
that.
stuff out. Yeah. But listen, this is what I'm
But
saying.
uh-huh.
Kamala Harris is known for the bullshit. She's known for sleeping with married men.
Well, if
Coming
that's the
up,
case,
selling that
hey, hey,
selling that
hey,
cootie cat.
Melania done slept with a married man. She
But
married to him right now.
Melania ain't been Lamania, whatever her name is, she's not being president. She's not becoming president. See,
What difference does
that's
it
a
make?
difference. But we
Trump
ain't
had a
voting
whole
for her.
baby, everybody for somebody. We voted for him.
Right.
He had a whole
Right.
baby. Wait a minute, he raped that woman while Melania was pregnant, and he had a whole girlfriend all at the same time, and they voted for him.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
don't hold them on the same.
I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him.
But a protest to not vote, a non-vote, is the same as vote for him. I'm not trying to
No,
be
it's
funny.
not. No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. If I don't vote for somebody, I don't vote for nobody. Nobody. If let's say Trump right here, Kamala right here, and they say, Frank, you need to vote for one of them to win.
Okay,
if I don't vote, who's gonna win?
Okay, that's true.
If I don't vote, who's gonna win?
Okay, this is it. Okay, so if Trump was to have lost, put like this, would it be the same kind of show of saying, "Oh, the Democrats was the reason why he lost"? I mean, what the black people is the reason why he lost?
If he had a lost,
you
would have seen it would be black people. Yeah, black people always make the choices.
I know
every election.
So if it was a protest, none. And I'm not getting you wrong. I'm not.
No, I know. I'm glad you asked the question.
I'm just saying. I'm glad. So if it was a protest non-vote, and you're saying that she lost because of black folks, if he would have lost, would have been because of black folks.
If he would have lost, it would have been because of black people. Black people would have showed up for her, and he would have lost. Black people, some of them decide to stay at home, and 25, 23% decide to vote for Trump to help him win. Right? The rest of you can see the numbers. The rest of them stayed at home. They didn't even vote.
No, it wasn't no 20-some% that voted for him. I mean, they love to try to say that, but they didn't. On the things the people voted for, the 93% of the black women who did vote voted for Kamala. 85% of the men who voted for Kamala. So 23% is not there. That's not how that went.
For who? Trump?
No, for Kamala. It's broke down.
I'm talking about
more than that.
I'm talking about 9% of black people. Okay. Trump numbers went up from the first one was 20-some% of black men. I think it went up to 29%.
It wasn't. I thought it was that too, but they showed it was more like 8. He only got like 15%.
Well, I know it was more percentage than it was last time. It was more percentage than it was last time.
I will say that.
That's all. Listen, that's all he needed. That's all he needed. He needed 5%. I think you say 15 came. Then he only needed 5 of the black vote.
Yeah.
See, they already know what they need from us. They know what they need from us.
They ain't gonna tell it, and they'll never admit to it. So long as they don't ever admit to it, they're not.
That's why we here.
Get nothing from it.
That's why this channel here, the show, the proof. You see what I'm saying? That's why I came on with you tonight to show the proof. And now we're finna go into some more stuff.
Okay.
That me and you was remember?
Okay.
We finna do another doozy on them. But we're gonna go over Kamala later on.
Yeah, please do, because I would like to see, because I said, I just go by what I know certain jobs can do and can't do, and I know what people say, and a lot of them be just hearsay and what have you, mad because their child is in there because he up in there cutting up in jail or something like that, and they try to make it seem like somebody hold him in there longer than what it is. But if it's truly like a conspiracy, it's shocking to me that people haven't demanded that she will have some kind of legal repercussions against her other than just not voting for her.
Okay, here we go.
Let's get Miss Brittany in here.
This is it right here. We talked about this earlier.
Brittany, what's up?
Hello.
Hey, dear, how are you?
Hey, Tariq, how you doing tonight?
I am.
This is Tariq's show, Tariq Radio. Y'all should listen to it on YouTube. Great show, great information.
No, you work at Amazon.
Great history.
Or a nurse. What do you do?
Amazon.
Check out Tariq Radio.
Either one. There ain't nothing wrong with Amazon.
I know. That's just not
I'm just working this time of night. Amazon or That's what
Yeah,
it
they
is.
make pretty good money though. They do, but they stand up too long.
Yeah, yeah.
They be standing up all night.
So what's on your
I get to sit down most of. I want to know, like, the foundation or Black people, period. What is like y'all issue with immigrants? Like, why is that a big issue? Like, with like what Foundation Black Americans, like, why do y'all have an issue with immigrants so bad?
um
Like, are y'all afraid of them working better than y'all, or taking jobs, or just I'm just trying to figure out, because why even the Republicans, why is it such a big deal with just deportation? And we have other things to be worried about besides
no, we don't
immigration.
got that to be okay. What benefit do we have with us being flooded with immigrants? What benefit do we have from that?
I think immigrants kind of benefit, like selling like fruit.
He
They
said selling
I
they
fruit.
real good hustlers and
fruit,
stuff. They
fruit,
clean up,
fruit,
um,
fruit,
janitorial.
fruit. We can go to
Yeah,
Trader Joe's and get some fruit.
I know, but they bring a lot to the economy. That's all I'm
No, they
saying.
don't.
They
A lot to their own economy. No, they don't. How do they bring
so you
economy, but their economies are smashed down?
Well, I don't know about that, Tyree, but I'm
I
just saying. I think that
know about that. That's why they come here. Their economies are trash. So how do they can't contribute to their own economy, but they contribute to ours? No. No, ma'am, it doesn't work.
so you agree with them all getting deported?
Yes. And I want them to hire some FBA'S to help do it. But that would be
You can't be serious right now.
a what?
Are you serious right
As a heart attack.
now? Wow. Why are you excited with people like
Why
with
did that doesn't benefit my people here? That doesn't benefit us. Why should we sit here getting flooded with non-citizens, draining what little resources we have? Why should we go for that, ma'am?
But I just feel like you guys shouldn't be worried about it. You just do what
Why?
you guys need to do on your side, and
Oh,
they continue doing providing for that. They come here for the imaginary. So you don't.
no, 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 no. That's a problem. If there is a problem, we should be worried about it. That's a problem. That harms us. When you have a bunch of people being flooded and dropped into our neighborhoods, and the resources are already limited, and they're draining the limited resources that we already have, that is a problem, ma'am. Why should we go for that? You keep ignoring that, and you keep changing the subject. Why do you keep ignoring that, Brittany? Brittany?
Ignore what? What am I ignoring?
I keep telling you that it is a problem. You keep telling us we got other problems. No, we don't. That's the
We have no. I just feel like we have bigger issues.
we have. Okay, you tell me. You said we got. You keep saying we got other problems. What other problems do we have besides that?
Democracy,
What?
inflation right now,
That's not a
um, how
catchphrase.
people, children are
No, that's
committing
a catch.
suicide.
Oh no, you're just saying words. We got a problem with democracy. What does that mean? You're just saying random words, Brittany. Why are you not being specific, Brittany? Why are you saying vague words? Democracy? What does that mean? Brittany?
Like taking away a lot of women rights. See, I work in the medical field. I've been working in the medical field for a long time.
Lord,
And
she couldn't
medical
work with
field,
me.
Trump is trying to
and in the medical
take
field,
away.
and in the ma'am, Brittany, you're not going to talk over me, beloved. In the medical field, you have a lot of.
What you think about that sofa?
She sounds slow. I wouldn't have never called for thing. I just, she just said. I was like, I know she didn't. She must obviously she know this man, and you called up there with that foolishness sounding like that. I'm not trying to be funny, but
Yeah, right,
she was asking to be roasted. That's exactly what that was. That's all it was
right,
to it. But she killed me talking about they stand up too long, and she in the medical field. But she sounds low. She sound a little slow
right,
to me. She kills
right,
me with that.
right.
But she want to know why they want to be deported. And she don't understand why folks gonna get deported Well, first of all, you should
Yeah,
have never voted for him because they was all on
right,
Trump tip. He
right,
told you everything he was gonna do. That's why I didn't want him in there. He
right,
did everything what he was gonna do, and sure enough, he ain't even in there. It's only been only a week, and he's showing his tail. He is acting a fool. He doing everything he said he's gonna do, and I told everybody that's what
right,
he's gonna do. I knew it. I knew it.
right. So
I
how
ain't
do
got
you
nothing.
feel? How do you feel? How do you feel about the deportation thing?
Me? Well, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, if that's what they wanted, they voted for him.
Well,
He
she didn't
said that's
vote
what he
for him. I
gonna
don't
do.
think
She didn't say she didn't
she
either,
didn't
did
vote
she?
for him.
You don't think so?
Huh?
You don't think so?
No, she want the immigrants to stay. So
That
she
don't
want
mean,
them to come over.
them folks want the immigrants to stay too, but they voted for them. They voted for him. You know why? I'm gonna tell you this because I heard that and I
Go
was
ahead.
trying to figure out what was the confusion. I was like, I just don't get it. I know these folks ain't slow
Right,
what to do, but their thing in their mind, first of all, they think they white. Second of
right.
all, they think
Now say that
that
again. They think they
they
what?
think they white. They think they white.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Say it one more time for the audience to hear.
Hispanic people think they white. They do all
Okay.
day long. So
Okay.
so one
What
thing
about
is that they
Jamaicans?
thought I don't know what's going on with them. That's just I have no opinion.
Did you
I
see?
just
Did you hear
don't.
that whole program?
I
Did you hear that
did.
whole program?
I heard it. I
She
heard
said
it.
she
They
was white. She put white on her paperwork,
did she
and
say
she a
she was
Jamaican.
white?
Yeah.
Well, it did, yeah, because that may be true. I think I heard that. But the thing was, they don't consider themselves completely black either.
Right.
And the reason why, and I was watching a program. You know, I'm a political junkie. I watch stuff all the
Right.
time, and I was watching Joy Reid. So
Okay.
her family is from some immigrants. So I'm assuming she's from Africa somewhere.
She.
Her family,
Yeah.
her
She's
family is.
from dang. What's the name of that city?
But she
Dang it.
don't hide.
The Condor. She from the
Uh-huh.
Condor.
And she was confused too. And so she's trying to
Right.
figure. She was saying that um that the people from other countries never want to be associated with black people in America.
Right.
They don't everything has to do with anything that don't equate them to being black in America. So that's why
Right.
Hispanic people always want to be white. They always want to
Right.
be in close proximity or
Right.
be extra white because whiteness to
Right.
them symbolize successfulness.
Right.
So that's why they're not gonna ever say that they're black or people of color. And I wish we would throw that out the window. That
Right.
phrase, we black, we this and that, because nobody else is only people seeing people of color is black folks.
Right.
White the Mexicans gonna say they gonna say they either the country that they're from or they gonna say they white or they sure not gonna say they're people of color unless they want some sympathy.
Right.
Like somebody did them wrong and they want something, then all of a sudden they're people of
Right.
color at that point. You know, they want
Right.
to be included on something, you know, like I
Yeah. When
said,
they get
reparations. Everybody
benefits.
gonna be white when it's time for, you know, if they give us
Yeah.
give us a reparation, then everybody all of a sudden they gonna be black, you know.
Oh yeah.
But
They gonna find their
that
black grandma.
yeah, that's exactly. They're gonna find somebody with dark skin or
Abuela.
whatever.
Don't
But
they call them
yeah,
the Abuela? Yeah.
abuela or abuelita. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they think that if they come over here, they really because that's why they always say we just come over here, we do a job and we work hard. We don't cause no problems, this and that, and all this other stuff. That they gonna get a pat on the back and they gonna be looked at favorably
Right.
because
Right.
they over here and they thought when Trump was saying that they was meaning the new ones coming. You know, they don't have no loyalty. I'm over here to heck with y'all. You know, y'all stay over there because y'all
Right.
messing it up for us. And I saw it on
Right.
from a young guy that was on. They was doing a town hall up in Michigan or no New York or somewhere, but it was
Hmm.
over there with black people, and all of a sudden here's his Hispanic self in there, but they supposed to be talking black folks, and I'm like, y'all always including extra folks up in there with
Yeah, I
us,
know. They want to try to put black and
But I
brown
was
or
glad
gay and
to
brown.
take. I was listening to him because I was curious on why is it that these people always want to try to, vote for Trump when this man clearly said he finna send you back, right?
Hmm.
But he was saying that they was hardworking and they've been over here, and those people are coming over here messing it up for them. That's
Right,
clearly what they said, what he said,
right,
and making them look
right,
bad. And so if that's what
right.
they're gonna do, he want them to send them back. But I'm saying to myself, you big dummy, he finna send you back because you just clearly
No
said you was
shit.
undocumented. You was undocumented and you went to school, but they feel like because they over here being one of the good ones, they don't mean them.
Yeah.
They just only gonna get the
Right,
one to stop them at the border and send them
right,
back. Or the ones that's sitting up here waiting on their asylum papers and the asylum court, they're gonna send them back. But they, long as they
right,
don't cause any troubles, they gonna leave me alone. That's what they thought.
right. Yeah.
And they still kind of think that because I was
Right,
looking, I'm a comic junkie. I would read them comments and look at the names
right,
over here next to them.
right.
And they real mad about, why y'all keep saying we finna go back and all they can't send us all back now, but they sure finna give a valiant effort to send y'all back. That's
Sure
exactly
will.
what's finna happen. And
Well,
like
they
Trump said,
start.
he don't care if they gonna send back some Americans in the process. They don't
That's
care. They
right.
doing it.
They started today, I think, because a lady came on Facebook today talking about that one of her Hispanic students got arrested and their family got arrested today, and they going back. They holding them
Okay.
to
Okay,
send them
so
back.
it's
They gathering them
always
up now.
no, they ain't because Trump don't have no kind of say so. So that's
You ain't
not
got
true.
no power. I'm
No,
just
not right
saying what
now.
she said on Facebook
I know.
today.
They saying that, but I guarantee you, he probably done ran over somebody. So
Right.
like that, they love you.
Something done happened.
Something done happened to where
Right.
they picked them up, and it's not for that. Biden is
Right.
still the president. It's still gonna go by that. They
Right.
ain't sending nobody back. Trump day one though. It's gonna
Yeah.
be them all them
It's-
inauguration balls. That first day he show up in that White House to
right.
work
Right.
because he already got his plan in place. They thought Fat
Right.
Meat was greasy when it was a Project 2025 and everybody tried to steal it. There ain't no such thing, no Project 2025. He already, everything that was outlined in the project, it's already going on right now. He got the people in place on what they're supposed to be, like pedophile Matt Gates over the DOJ, so he could keep from going to jail with his perverted self, all
What
that
did he
type of
do?
stuff like
What did he
that.
actually do?
He had that little 16, 17-year-old girlfriend that he was going back and forth across state lines and different things like that. And they was doing, he was on the ethics committee was investigating him, but he immediately, as soon as he got nominated for the head of DOJ,
Hmm.
Attorney General of United States, he resigned. Then that stopped that
Okay.
investigation. But that don't
Okay.
mean it's gonna stop the whole investigation for him. Is for because that's a federal crime. But if he's over
Right.
the the DOJ, you think he gonna investigate his own self?
No.
No. Okay, that's
Right.
exactly right. That's what I'm talking about. But
Right.
he is gonna be over it by him being grateful to Donald Trump for putting him over there and saving his skin. Now he ain't got no federal time for
Now,
being a
now, now,
pervert or anything like
now,
that. He's gonna do
now,
what he
what is he
wants.
supposed to do with 2025? What is he supposed? What's supposed to happen anyway?
2020 Project 2025 is a whole lot of stuff. They're gonna get rid of the Department of Education because they feel like they control the education, they can control the youth, which means they will eventually in 20 years, if you control the youth and what they're learning, you're gonna control how everybody see things. You only expose them to certain things. That's why they had everybody thinking that Columbus discovered America at one point. You say what people learn, you give them what they want to learn, tell them what they're not supposed to learn, and you can mold people to see things the way you want them to. You it's too late for the
They
people
doing that
now. They
anyway.
don't learn too much now. So now they just
They
gonna go
doing
for
that
the little
anyway.
kids now. They doing for the little kids because they feel like it's enough. It's half and half in the United States. It's pretty much 50-50. They don't want it to be 50-50. They want it to be because once you learn something one way, it's hard to reprogram you to learn something different. And if they
Right.
get you young and all this other stuff, they can guide you in a certain way. So you can now you don't have to say that the white people was bad for enslaving black people. At that point, you try to give them
They gonna
all
say
that stuff
they
young.
was workers. They was volunteers,
Yeah,
right?
and all kinds of stuff, so they don't have to feel bad about it. That kind of
Right.
stuff. So they trying to get rid of the Department of Education. They're gonna send the immigrants back, and that includes and when I don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's all Hispanic people. It's gonna be some Africans. It's gonna be some Indian people. Anybody look brown, but like that, it's
Right.
gonna be Muslim. Anybody over here that ain't got their papers right, got to go.
Okay.
You,
Let me ask you this question: how you feel
mhm.
about brown and black? They always say brown and black,
I don't know.
together.
I don't like it. I mean, I know that some people get discriminated against, but we get to discriminate against in a different way. I don't
Right.
like it. We have a whole different fight when
Right.
Latinos get ready to do something.
Right.
They only want to fight for Latino causes
Right.
in their
Right.
things and their beliefs and different things that's suppressing them. They never
Right.
include us.
Right.
We
I'm
have
glad you
a
said
different
that.
thing. We have a different thing that we've got going on. And like I said, more power to them. If they get what they're gonna get, that's fine for them. But we don't need to include them with us because they're two different fights,
Right.
and they're two different things that they want. They're focused on one thing. We want our focus on another. They
Right.
still trying to get citizenship. We was over here before it was a doggone country. So we
Right.
fight for two different things at this time.
Right. Right.
So how you gonna ask for something? This person wants this one. This person. We need to be all in one accord. So black people need to
Right.
just stay with black folks.
Yeah, I
Not
agree.
no separate. It's not no. Or we think we better than. We just got two different arguments and two
Right.
different fights. So I
Right.
think that's the way it should be. All this adding folks in there,
So,
that's just too much.
do you know what Foundation Black Americans are? When they say that
I have.
FBA,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yes. It's not just all kinds of black folks that done came over here. It's people that been here. The black folks that been here.
when we say we talking about Foundation Black American, we mean by lineage.
Mhm.
We have lineage back to the slave fields. We have
Mhm.
birth certificates to show, and it goes back all the grandmama used to keep this Bible with all the people lineage
Yeah. My
back to the
grandmama got
slavery.
one too. But see, I got stuff
Yeah.
to where in my family, on my mom's side of the family, we're
Right.
we can go on back to 17 something.
Right.
One of my ancestors had a stamp. It was Richard Allen.
Right.
So,
Right.
and we were direct descendants from him. He was in the
Right.
1700s, and his thing
Right.
was he started the AME church, and
Right.
because they wouldn't let black people go and worship with them at
Right.
the same
Right.
time. So he decided he was going to have his own church so that we can worship the way we want to without nobody looking at us crazy and looking
Right.
through windows,
Right.
so we can get the same kind of thing. So that's how they started there. On top of it, he also um, wanted to also get people together so that we can go back to Liberia or something like that. I'm glad that fell
Right.
through.
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so but
Same thing.
yeah.
The other,
Mhm.
what's the other guy name that tried to do something like that? Back in the day, came from Jamaica to here. He gathered all the black people up. We're gonna buy a ship,
Uh-huh.
and the ship was
I know
broke.
who I've heard about him. I've heard about him. I can't remember what his name is, but he's from Jamaica. So,
Next show, everybody, we're gonna have that name for you.
Okay, but
Man, his
so
name right on
great.
tip of my tongue. His name is right on tip of my tongue too. Damn.
Well,
Anyway, we'll have it on the next show.
but that I can say that we're from here. Put it like that. We from here.
Right.
We
Yeah,
can
we
go
Foundation
on back
Black
on
American.
that side. We can go on
Yeah.
back to I don't know
Right.
when, at least on my mom's side of the family. My daddy's side of the family, we definitely from here. Just can't go back
Right.
that good. They didn't keep
Yeah.
as good of records on that side. But on my mama's side of the family,
Right.
we were
Long as you
well
got one of them.
documented.
Yeah,
well
long as
documented.
you got one,
Oh no,
long as you got
we
one,
got two. It's just that
you'll get the
I
money.
can't get it. I can get
You
it on both sides. You can look both our family on my side, on my families, and know exactly what's going on. But I can go on back.
okay?
So, but I know that that's the ones who I feel like should be, if it ever be some reparations. I can't see it with these folks that's doing the making the laws being able to
Uh-huh.
do it. If anything, it's gonna be probably a generation down the line before we
I,
end up getting
I
anything.
think we can get it. I don't know if it'll be doing me and your generation, but I
That's what
do
I'm saying.
believe that
I think it's a generation down the line,
because
though.
see, through this election, we showed power. We showed some power, and
I
as
hope they
we
recognize it. I
go,
hope, because they
yeah,
love to talk. They love to talk something down.
right.
Because they hate to give black people power, because I just don't. I don't get it. Everybody else can get stuff and we can't, and we
But
never get the
everybody
we never. Huh?
remember, everybody else wants to accept them as the ruler. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Ain't nobody want to
Mhm.
overthrow them. Everybody else
Mhm.
want them to run. We would by by just being here, we'll overtake them. If we was on the same field, we would overtake them because we
Mhm.
do it in everything we do. It's just a spiritual thing. It's just a Majaro thing. I call it Majaro. I got
Mhm.
that from Tariq.
Mhm.
It's something that's within black people that would cause us to rise. You
Mhm.
see, we nobody can do things the way we do it. It's like straight
Mhm.
from God.
Mhm.
To us. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So we are the ones that keep the thing straight.
Yeah, that's true. Now.
43 million black people, we keep it straight. They be trying to
That's
do little underhand shit, but we somehow keep this thing a kind of pretty much a level playing field.
that.
You know,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then
because if you
and
take
everybody
us,
come
it's
over here
done.
and
It's a
turn their
wrap.
nose down at black folks that's
Right,
here, that's been here for
right,
a long time, and we the ones that's been here, and y'all just not coming over here and then wants to say we lazy. Y'all, it wouldn't be
yeah,
America if it wasn't for black folks.
that's
It just
right.
really
We
wouldn't.
built the
It
country.
wouldn't be America for you to even come over here to
Right,
want to be so-called American dream, like that little girl just said a while ago. What American dream?
right,
Whose dream was it? I'm trying to
yeah,
figure out. We ain't got nothing. What dream are you
right,
talking about?
right,
And I'm not saying we ain't getting nothing. We don't get me wrong. We are leaps and bounds better than what it was a couple of generations
yeah,
ago. Yeah,
right,
leaps and bounds. And that, I think that in itself is a detriment to some of our young people, because they have not seen the struggle. Have
right,
not seen how people, a true racist that don't care about what you see, what's going on,
right, right,
how they are toward anybody, how it is to
right,
have to plan your travel, because you don't want to go through certain areas at nighttime, because something seriously really can happen to you. Everybody not sitting up here thinking, well, I can go in there and do whatever. No, you can't. I mean, yeah, you are
right,
by law can, but can you really? I
right,
mean, not trying to be funny. They haven't lived that or been around
right,
been around that kind of stuff, and they just
right,
feel, they feel like they're entitled, and they don't know, because we made it
right,
look easy, like, they always been entitled to have stuff, but our grandparents weren't. They weren't able to
right,
do that, and we still hear
right,
it and see it, and everything when we were coming up was very segregated, very.
right,
The Hispanics had their little neighborhood. The black folks stayed
right,
over here, there, and everything. It was a couple black folks sprinkled over there in the white neighborhood, but I guarantee you,
right,
everybody knew where the black folks stayed, and they was not
right,
happy about it. And
right.
that's just how it was. But now everybody live anywhere, just about. And so they don't see it, because they see the way it looked like
Well,
it should
it's
be, but that's smoke and mirrors.
right, right. That's what I'm saying. See, they got them in school, right? When
Mhm.
black kids now go to school, it's hard for them to see racism because they hide it.
Mhm.
It's not in their face. It's not. It's
Mhm.
okay. When we were young, we had extreme racism.
Mhm.
It was in our face. right? It's
Mm-hmm.
every time we see somebody like Trump, it reminds us of the extreme racists,
Cause
right?
they ain't died, and that's another thing
But
that they don't understand is that these have not died. They still running
right,
around here living, breathing,
right,
just and full of life. And they the lawmakers. These, all them people in Congress right now in Washington in that Capitol, all them folks is old. Most of them are put like that.
right, right,
And those are the ones that's kicking up dust. What was little what turkey neck man? He just stepped down. He old as get out. What's it? Nancy
I
Pelosi,
know you're
80
talking
some
about.
years old.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that them folks is old, and
But
they
what
was
I'm
over
saying
there
is,
when there was a bunch of mess going on.
right. But what I'm saying is, like Joe Biden. Joe Biden was the right hand man of the damn Ku Klux Klan. That was his big time uh what you call it when you believe in somebody, when you kind of like worship somebody,
Who?
what do you
Joe
call
Biden?
it,
No, he was.
mentor.
He was okay. Uh-huh.
Joe Biden had the KKK leader of the KK was Joe Biden mentor.
Mhm.
Okay, but he's a
Mhm.
Democrat, and black people don't see it. It's like black people can't see that Democrats are racist too. They just as bad as
They
the
are.
Republicans. They just
They
smile
are.
in your face.
They are. Well, I'm
They
gonna
just
say
smile in
some
your
younger
face.
ones may not, but everybody know that it. I'm not gonna say all white people because they're not. I'm just not gonna say that
No,
because
I can't. No, I can't
we
say
wouldn't
all white people.
because we wouldn't have a lot of things to
But
go
we can
against. I
say the
have a
ones
you
that
got to
has
have you got to have a white person on your team in order for you to go somewhere, and that's the only reason why is because they need to be able for somebody that's gonna make the decisions to be able to relate to them. Because they see a bunch of
right.
black folks. I'm serious. They see a bunch of black
I
folks. They
got you.
get
I got you.
intimidated and scared and thinking
Right.
something happened.
Right.
You have a white
Right.
person over there, they say, okay, well, it can't be too bad. You got a white person over there. Let me start
Right.
talking to
Right.
them because they know how to
Right.
relate to each other. But those are the ones who's
Right.
gonna make some kind of decision.
Right.
And that's how they go. And that's how we've gotten to be where we are now because we have had some good white folks that knew
Right.
that it was a bunch of malarkey taking some words from from Biden going on
Right.
and so they helped us in some kind of ways. They had a good heart on them, and they knew it was just a bunch of mess. So we need
Right.
some white folks to do some things, but this is our fight,
Right.
and we need to stick up for it. This is a different day and time, and these some different
Right.
kind of kids, and it's a different kind of
Right.
young people right now. They they
Look,
they not they not having it. They
right.
want to get it by any means necessary. They got to take it.
Right.
So they
Right.
need to start listening to something that because we are getting older. There's a lot of us going.
Right.
It's dying off, and all you're gonna
Right.
have is those knuckleheads that ain't trying to hurt it. And
Right.
they need
But
to start. We
remember,
need to come up with something.
but but remember when we were your kids' age, we were
Hmm.
knuckleheads. You remember
Yeah,
that?
to a certain
It took a
extent.
while. It took a while for us to get leveled off.
Uh-huh.
Because
But see,
years ago,
we
it,
was still doing the protesting and different things like that. These kids ain't
right.
trying to protest nothing. They ain't trying to
Well,
do
they
nothing,
but, but hold
and
on
I
now.
get
Hold
it
on.
now. Hmm.
Hold on. You had kids when George Floyd died. You had them out
Uh-huh.
there in them streets. So
Oh
those were
yeah, I had
young
a
folks.
uh-huh. I know.
You know what
My
I'm saying?
niece was one of them, baby. She was
So
about it. Now
so these
she was
kids,
a real one.
right? These kids are out there. They just don't see a. They see if you look on Facebook, you see
Hmm.
women going to trips. You see
Hmm.
women doing the most, and then you see older men at the club trying to dance. And most of the time, when
Hmm.
you see older people, they doing a lot of bullshit. To me,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
mostly bullshit entertainment. It's
Hmm.
nothing serious. It's nothing to
Hmm.
help a young person develop himself.
Hmm.
So that's why I have this show going, so I can at least show young people that we do talk about things. We are here to talk about what's going on in the world.
Well,
Because if
that's
we don't
good
talk
because
about it, they won't see it. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true. That's true because I'm so sick and tired of talking about folks and 50-50 men and women
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know what to do. You know, it's more to it
Yeah.
than that. It's you need to
Right.
set some kind of foundation so that you can have something, not just you, so your kids can have something, and not just that,
Right.
your whole family and your whole neighborhood, and stop being this everybody for their own self. You know, it needs to be a whole group
Right.
effort, and
Right.
I'm hoping that kicks on and everybody stop hating on each other. This culture of everybody have
Right.
to have some kind of drama. I wish we
Right.
as black folks would love on each other enough to say we want better and gonna do better and we gonna fight for each other. I wish we'll get to that point.
Right. Right. We are gonna get to that point. The problem is we just have to stop and make it recognizable because people don't see it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. They
Like
don't. They don't.
you got men talking about women, and then you got men that's caping for women to be like it be men on YouTube and Facebook and all these other social media talking about man, this woman got a family, she's single, she's busting her butt, she's doing this, she's doing that, you know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
then you look at them, you say, okay, is this somebody you want to marry? You want a ready-made family? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It ain't no problem supporting a sister that's doing what she have to do to feed her family. That's no
Uh huh.
what I'm not saying that we shouldn't congratulate the one, but I'm saying you shouldn't be out here saying because what about the woman who don't have kids
Mhm.
and she going to college, she's doing and she's not out here all in the streets.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? She ain't sleeping with different dudes and she ain't having the kids at a young age or whatever. You
Mhm.
know, what about that girl? You saying that if you caping for women with kids, what about the women that don't have kids? Who caping for them? Who's looking out for them? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's true
So
because it is so many of them
I
that
don't like it
that
when
don't.
men sit up here do all this talk just like they exploiting women. You know what I mean? They know a single mom is kind of vulnerable because she's going through a lot, right?
Mhm.
And then you got these people saying, "Oh, you doing good, you doing great, you all right," but they ain't
Mhm.
talking about some of the mistakes she's making. They ain't saying, "Hey, hey, you shouldn't have went that way." They ain't gonna say that. They gonna just keep congratulating the woman. So no matter
Okay,
what she's doing,
but see, what is that? Oh, hold on, let me get this charger here.
all
So,
right,
what makes you think
go ahead, take your
that
time.
that she making
I'm
some
gonna make the
mistakes?
screen bigger for me.
That she making
Go ahead, we all
mistakes?
right.
Uh huh.
Uh-huh. Go
So,
ahead. Well, you can tell when somebody make mistakes if you got 3, 4 different baby daddies,
well, yeah, everybody
you
don't
know.
though. Everybody
But
don't have
no,
three or
I'm
four
not
baby
saying
daddies.
everybody do.
Mhm.
Right. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
Mhm.
you got to tell the women something. You got to come over here and face the women and be truthful with them. Like,
Mhm.
hey, hold on, you doing some wrong stuff because it's some women they in college, they don't
Mhm.
have kids. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
my daughter,
And then
30 some years old, she
we
don't have no kids.
right. We do more praising for women who got kids and done did some things that's got them slowed down. I
Mhm.
understand you've been married. The husband died. I can dig that one.
Uh huh.
Y'all married. The husband died. He leave you with kids, and you used to having a provider and a protector and a
Mhm.
producer, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But when a man is caping for women who's out here doing degenerate things,
Mhm.
and that's all he doing is talking good. You'll never hear some of these guys say nothing bad about these women. All you hear about is, and if you do hear dudes talking about women all the time, they hate women. Most of them probably gay. You
Well,
know what
I
I'm saying?
believe that. I done heard them say some bad stuff about some women myself, but
Right?
um, and they have a problem because the first thing they would do, excuse me, too, is
Come on,
if a
do this.
woman by herself, they would love to say, "Well, that's why you ain't got no man." Well, what makes you think the man that she did have? First of all, she may not have no man because she don't want to have a whole bunch of different men, and probably ain't finna put up with no whole bunch of mess either. So what makes
Right.
you think just because she by herself means there's something wrong with her? That's the reason why she ain't got no man. You know,
Well,
like something is
see,
wrong with that
let me
not
tell you
having
why
no
men.
man.
let me tell you why men think that though.
Mm-hmm.
Men think that something wrong with you because if you're a nice, beautiful woman, you getting it. That some dude, it's a million of us dudes out here. One of us gonna take you if you
But
right for the taking.
well, yeah, that's true. But
You know what I'm
sometimes
saying?
the
But if you
ones that's
got a
trying
app,
to do the taking ain't worth having. I'm just gonna put it like
well,
this. I'm
hold
not
on, hold
trying to
on
be
now.
funny. They not. Some
Okay,
of them not.
okay. What is it about the man that's not worth taking? What is he doing that's
Okay,
not
oh
worth taking?
Frank, how long have you been married? A
30
long
some
time.
years.
Okay, so you
30
can't
some
talk
years.
this. You can't talk this conversation. I'm just gonna tell you. You don't got there. You
Why?
don't got the woman that stayed with her, right? I'm not trying to be funny
Right?
because some of these
Right.
men they do be trying to do whatever. They either sometimes that's where the homosexual came from. They really do be trying to get with a woman because first of all, either they make the mistake and think that the woman that's because she don't have a man, so they want to
Right.
they want to get they feel like that she's going to be accepting of any and every kind of activity known to me, or
Right.
he's gonna come in there and try to be her daddy. Ain't nobody trying to have that either. They have this
Right.
misconception of different things. They didn't have a father figure either, so they don't know how to be a man themselves. People don't have time to have that kind of project. Sometimes, especially when they have already been in a relationship, the last thing they want to do is jump back into something that they know is going to be a whole lot, and
Okay.
and they don't want that around their children either. So just
Right.
because a woman don't have a man, do not mean there's something wrong with her. And that
Well, but
men
you
haven't
tell
tried to get
now,
men
now
haven't
hold
tried to
on now.
get with her.
Hold on, hold on,
You see
hold
what I'm
on now.
saying?
Hold on now.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Let's bag up. Let's bag up
Uh-huh.
what you said. And
Uh-huh.
I ain't trying to throw this show into no relationship show yet. We'll get
Uh-huh.
into relationship another day. But what
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to say is the majority of the time, when a
Mm-hmm.
woman turns 30,
Mm-hmm.
when she reaches 30, there's no change in this woman,
No, it
right?
ain't. You're right.
And also, if a woman has a job or a career,
Uh-huh.
you ain't making more than she making, you ain't gonna have too much to say to this woman. Nope, you probably won't have any control of this woman.
Well, okay, so when you say don't make the same kind of money she making, right? How much money you
Right.
talking about?
Well, how much money you talk? How much money you think that?
Below what this woman is making, how much more?
Okay, okay. So let's say the woman made 30,000,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Which ain't nothing.
Uh-uh.
But the average woman, if I did a
Mm-hmm.
study, you can do a
Mm-hmm.
study. I think it's pure research.
Uh-huh.
Most women who the average woman make anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 on average
Oh.
a year. Between
Well, you would
30,
think.
between 20 and 30, between 20 and 30, she making about 40 grand at the most.
Okay, I'm gonna put it like this. If she making that little bit of money, I'm not trying to be funny. She gonna
Right?
want any kind. She gonna want $5. If he gonna bring $5 to the table, that's gonna help her. I'm not trying to be funny. So
Okay.
that's a misconception that men have that they have to make a certain amount of money in order to approach this woman.
Hold
When you
on, hold
put,
on. Hold
if
on.
you put, if you
Get through.
put
Let me get through.
40,000 and you put 20,000, you got 60,000. You don't make your lives, both y'all lives, a whole lot more comfortable if y'all decide to do right. But
Okay,
what it is,
okay, now let me ask
uh-huh,
you this question. What do a
uh-huh.
single person need to make to be happy in America?
Oh, it's gonna be way more than that.
How
I,
much?
it depends on where they stay in America. Okay,
I ain't
in the DFW area, which is the Dallas Fort Worth area, right now they had a
okay.
study. It's $120,000
Right. That's
a
what it
year,
is. A
a
year.
year. Uh-huh.
Now, how
And
many
so
young 20 people how many people in their 20s to 30 make that kind of money?
nobody. I mean, not saying nobody. I mean,
Okay.
let me stop lying because my daughter, she
The
probably making
majority
that
don't.
and some. But I'm just saying, a lot of them not. But if you couple up and don't have no kids, you can make it easily here in because the wages here in this area is kind of not real low. They not high, but they're not low. But if you couple up and two people making $60,000, which is a lot of people, You making
Yeah,
it
but
easily.
still, remember, to be happy
Uh-huh.
in America, you have to make 120. That's on the
Mhm.
low end.
Mhm.
Just one person. Now, if you got two people, how much you got to make?
I don't know.
Because
Because what they
what I'm
call
saying
happy?
is,
What
you
they call happy? Because I'm not trying to be
happy.
funny. If you make it,
Happy is
if you're making
right. Happy
120,
right. Happy is being able to afford things and not worry about not living check to check. That's happy.
okay, so nobody in
Being able
America.
to afford
I'm not
things
saying
and
nobody,
not
but a
worry
lot
about
of women,
next
a
week.
lot of people in the United States not happy.
Yeah, yeah, because they don't know that. They don't know what they need to make to be happy. Now, if they knew that, they would be. They'll know. Hey, man, I ain't good. I ain't ready right now to holler
No,
at you, baby.
no, that's not how that go. That's not how they go.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
nobody told you
Because
that you had to make 120,000. They make $120,000. Now they happy.
right, that's what you need to be happy. They don't. I didn't say you would be happy. I'm saying that's what you need to be happy because you can afford just about anything at 120. You can
But you
go
can afford,
anywhere, shop,
but it
drive
depends on
what you want.
it depends on what kind of lifestyle what they put their values on. I'm just gonna put it like that.
Well,
It depends on their
but in
values.
America, in America, 120,000 is for a single person is the value. That is the value. Now, if you go
Yeah.
below that, that's called struggle. That's struggle love. That's why these young kids, when they get married, 20, both of them 20, they
Mhm.
struggling because they don't know how to deal with about to happen, what's going on. They don't know that they below the average of making what they supposed to be making. They don't
Yeah.
know that. They just in love.
That's
You see
why
what I'm
it's a
saying?
lot
They
of
more
people.
in love than they are about.
It's a lot of people running around here, and I'm not saying. Don't get me wrong. $120,000. Yeah, you're not gonna be, and you by yourself. You shouldn't put it like that. You shouldn't be struggling. But some people got some.
Right.
They trying to live this champagne life with bare money and stuff like that.
Well,
But but
that's a different person.
but I'm
That's
just
a
saying
different type
they
person.
shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. But the thing is, they don't mean that they're gonna be happy either. It's some people that's
I
probably
didn't
making
say that.
90 some thousand
I
dollars,
said
and they ain't struggling either because they learned to live within a certain in their means, and they were just perfectly happy and be able to do pretty much what they want to do. They just know how to budget their money, and know
right.
how to do what they need to do,
Well, this is what I'm
and
saying.
they. Mhm.
At 120, you still gotta have the same principles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But what I'm
that's
saying
what
is you can
I just don't know
afford
what they came up
and
with.
do.
Yeah,
They did research.
I know they
That's
did.
all.
I know they did, but
They
I'm
they
just
took
saying
a they
they
took a
equate a
they
lot of
took the
stuff
price.
on money.
They break it down. They take the price of a house or apartment now. They
Mhm.
average $2,000 in rent. They
Mhm.
put it up there. A car note probably $1,000 a month. You know,
Mhm.
uh, food $1,000 a month for food for a single person, and they just
Mhm.
added that all up and come up with that 120. And they say, oh, you can live a good life
Yeah,
if you
you
had
can.
that.
You can live a good life without not having to worry about a whole lot of stuff, but that don't mean you're gonna be happy.
Because see,
That's the part. That's because that's relative.
right when a man couple up with a woman, his
Mhm.
goal is to take care of that woman
Mhm.
financially.
Mhm.
Okay,
Is it?
his goal is to change her life
I'm
when
just
he get
being
with her.
silly. I said, is it? Because it
I
don't
know
look
you
like
will.
that's what that's what a lot of people are doing. But then
Right,
I'm not trying to be funny, but
and
I get what you're saying as far as saying that the man have to if he not making a certain amount of money, and
he
I
need to
get
keep
that,
his
but
mouth shut.
you
He need to
can't
keep his
sit there and
mouth
make
shut.
$24,000 a year and then go approach somebody that's making and don't have no place to lay his head, and then gonna think he gonna approach a woman that have herself together. It's not because he not making money. It's because why are you in this position at a certain age? Now it comes with
Right,
age too. It depends on what, because you're supposed to
right,
have a certain thing
right.
going
A
on.
man
Because
really right.
and it don't have
A
nothing to do
man
with
really
that.
don't start. A man really don't start making money till he get 30. Then his money, according to history, his
Hmm.
money starts to double once he get above 30.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Between
that's
20
true,
and
but
30, he trying to find himself. But once he reached 30,
that's
he
fine. But
started
the
working
thing
that
is,
career and
it
doubling
don't
up.
have nothing to do with the money part, but you should have certain things in play. And that means because you have had to make
Well, wait a
certain
minute
kinds of
now. Hold on.
and what I'm
Stop right
saying,
there. Stop
what
right
I'm
there.
you
Hold on.
wouldn't let me
You
finish because
said,
I'm
hold
it's
on.
not
You said,
you're not
I know,
you're
but
gonna
you
try to
said,
make me seem like I'm saying something different and you're not listening to me.
no. I'm not trying to do that. I'm asking you. I
Uh-huh.
wanted to stop you
Uh-huh.
before we get past what you said. You
Uh-huh.
said that it doesn't matter about the money. That's what you just said, right?
It's I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. I did not say that. Don't get me going.
Okay.
Don't
I
get me
want to make
saying
sure.
it.
That's why
But
I
I'm
stopped
just
because I
saying
want
what
to
else?
make sure.
Because no. But he should have
Okay.
certain things in play. He should be somewhere stable.
At
And
what
when I'm
age
saying
are you
somewhere,
talking?
I'm gonna say 30 something. Not no 20 something. No. I'm gonna
Okay.
say at 30 something. He should be somewhere stable. He should have at least some kind of career path. He may not be at the job for long, but he need to be in a certain line of work for a certain amount of
Right.
time, or he
Right.
should be trying to build himself to where he's doing something to where he's going to elevate himself to a certain point. He got to have some kind of goals. He got
Right.
to make some kind of decisions that where it's not going to be a detriment to him and whoever else he's trying to bring it to his life. So that
That's
means you can't be having
that's what
all
I'm
kinds of
saying.
different things that where it's gonna make your life even harder. Now, you may not make the money, but you can't be bringing nobody down to where now you got to be paying 4 times as much for certain things, and you already ain't got a whole lot of money to begin with because
That's
you just
right.
can't
That,
stop doing
that's
stuff.
why.
You won't leave the weed alone. And then don't get me wrong, if that's what they want to be doing, but if that's hindering you from getting jobs and different things, you need to stop because now you
That,
just sit there and said the weed is more important than you having things that you need to have
but
in
hold
order for
on.
you to
This
provide for your
but,
family.
right. But this is what I'm saying. We
Uh-huh.
looking at the thug person. We're not looking at the average
Uh-uh.
man.
Mm-mm.
Cause
Mm-mm.
average men don't smoke weed. You know, those are those young guys that's out there
I'm
smoking
50
weed.
some years old, and I
Uh huh.
promise you,
Uh huh.
I done ran across more people that smoke weed than don't.
Yeah, but that's a certain demographic that you see.
Is it? I'm not.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Right. Most dudes that's trying to do something with their life,
Uh
they're
huh.
not smoking no weed. They're not smoking no weed. No. They out here working 60, 70 hours a week. They
Oh,
don't
they
have
doing
time.
that. They doing that, and they
You know what I'm
smoking them
saying?
some weed. I promise you that they
But
doing it.
that's something that we need to.
It's
That's
surprising.
something we need to
It is
cut out,
surprising.
though.
Eh,
That's something we need to cut out.
Exactly. Exactly. And when you say something about it, that's the reason why they're going hard for these laws to change so that they don't have to because they don't want to let it go. And
Right.
that's why I'm saying that have something to do with the choices that you make because you make
Are you
things
picking
more
men that
important.
smoke weed? Are you picking men that smoke weed?
No. And that's the whole reason why I'm by myself. Okay. I can't find none that don't. Okay.
Huh?
They don't smoke.
Trust me.
They smoke weed more than you know. And you be shocked at the ones that do, because once you get them, yeah, all out in open, it look like they don't. But once they get every day house, you be smelling that aroma of cannabis running around. You be like, who's smoking weed up in here? It's them.
Okay.
And
Well,
then they smoke
that's
way
a
too
red flag.
much. Yeah, that's a red flag. Like, what is going
That's
on at this
that. So
age that you're
that's what
doing
I'm
this?
saying. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. So that's the time you need to exit instead of getting
Exactly.
involved with somebody who
And
you
that's where
know
I make my
ain't
that's
gonna
where
do
I
right.
make my exit right. I do. I have no
Right.
problem doing that. And I got to the point
Right.
now I don't even go there. I don't even
Right.
try to date. I don't try. It's all about because right now I'm just trying to retire. I got grandkids. I
Right.
got my own kids. I got time. I don't have time for that. I got to work.
Right.
I got little other issues that
Well,
I
you
got
what?
going on as far as
Right.
with my body. I don't have time to be dealing with that kind of stuff. It's a lot
Right.
going on when you try to, especially at an older age, and
Okay.
you try to date. I feel like that. It's a lot,
Right.
and you trying to combine families and personalities and different things. It's a lot. It's
Right.
way more than you. And then they still trying to either if I'm not gonna be the young woman, then he's gonna be elderly.
Right.
I'm just gonna put it like that.
Right.
So the people
Right.
that's my age is gonna look at somebody that's younger than than I am. And so
Right.
they too busy doing all that. So it's a lot. I just
Right.
don't want to deal with it.
But
I'm
you'll
tired.
be surprised who watching you, right? Somebody
That's
may be
true.
watching you and they going, that's a nice, that even a young person, they watching you, they saying, she's a nice person. I wonder why she ain't got no man.
Exactly.
Or
And
are
see,
the men
they
that
try to draw conclusions without trying to find out. And the whole thing
I'm
is
just
that
saying
it'll
something.
swear up and down, they'll swear up and down. You got
I'm
50,000 men, or because ain't no way to world you by yourself. So they done made up this
right,
scenario in their head, or
right,
they done pegged you as being crazy because you're by yourself. One or the other,
right,
but they ain't never tried to find out
right,
what's going on.
right. So all I'm saying is that's a thing for another show.
Yeah,
We
that
done went
is.
all into
I don't know how
relationship.
we got over here, but that's how we
I
got
don't
over
either.
here.
But we
But
finna bag out of here. And
uh-huh.
we had a good show tonight. And let me do this right here. Because we done went over our little hour.
Okay. Well, that's
Uh,
fine.
and we had a good show, good talk. I'm pretty sure some people gonna look at this and think, damn, they brought up some good issues right there.
Well, I
Um,
hope so. I hope so. I hope it gets
especially
some people thinking.
especially if they don't know how much money they need to be making. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Be happy with it. Anyway, I appreciate you coming on tonight in Georgia. I'm gonna end this recording and put this out tomorrow. And
All
you
right.
have a good night.
All right. You too.
Okay. So we ended it. Let me make sure we end this thing.